There's a really sweet XK8 for sale for $6,000. It's cheap. You can be rolling in a Jag, but you better watch this video before you sink that much money into this car or any older European car. Let's get started. This is a 1998 Jaguar XK8, and these cars are beautiful. They're really, really awesome. I enjoy driving them. They drive great, they look great, and the prices to repair them are great as well. Very great. You need to keep that in mind with any Euro car, especially the older Jags. These things are for sale all over Facebook Marketplace or your favorite place to shop for cars, anywhere from $3,000 to $10,000. That's about all they're worth. Why are they so cheap, Car Wizard? Because they cost that much again to fix them and sort them out. So if you find this for $6,000, you can go ahead and plan for another $6,000 to sort it out, guaranteed. Now, I had a customer many years ago who had one of these. It was in very good condition, and he stopped by the shop. He said, "You've serviced my car, appreciate it, you've done a great job, but I'm ready to sell my XK8," it was pretty much just like this one, but it was silver. He said, "What should I ask? How much should I ask for my car?" I told him $9,000. He got very angry. He said this car was a $90,000 car. There's no way, Car Wizard, I can only get $9,000. He said, "I don't think you know what you're talking about." And he left in a huff. He was very angry. He came back about 3 weeks later and he apologized. He said, "I went to talk to a few dealers. I checked the Blue Book value. I checked around what these things are going for." He says, "I would have never bought this car if I knew they're only worth this much now." He said, "I'm sorry, I went off on you. That's all they're worth." There are a few of these that are pristine, like museum quality, that go for more money, 12, 15, 20. They're like 100 miles on them, or maybe 1,000 miles on them. Yes, you can ask more money for those. But for the common everyday XK8 or XJ8 that's for sale on Marketplace, that's pretty much what they go for. Now, it costs a lot of money to own one of these cars. They look cool, but you're going to pay to maintain them. But if you don't want to pay to constantly be maintaining a car, there are other options, just like an ES300 or an LS400. Very elegant, very nice, but they don't break the bank every time you turn around. But they're not beautiful like this, and they never will be. Let me show you just how beautiful these are. They're really sweet. There's the look of an XK8. Very sleek, very stylish. This one's kind of a burgundy wine color, and it has very nice 5-spoke wheels. Let me check the size for you guys on those. They are 17s. The paint on this one is pretty much immaculate. No dents, no rust, no scratches. It is in very, very nice shape. So you come around to the back, Jaguar XK8. It looks very elegant, very stylish. Again, same on that side, very, very nice. The customer brought this XK8. One of the complaints was that the check engine light is on and it has a message on the dash, restricted performance. They want to know what in the world's going on with that. So let's take a look at those codes and see what we find out. Keeping cars on the road is what I do. So in my shop we have many professional tools that just aren't appropriate for the general public. Like my scan tools, they cost thousands of dollars, which is okay when I use them to make money, but not okay if it's just for the cars in your home garage. Luckily, there are scan tools out there made specifically for that, like this Top Don Top Scan tool, the sponsor of today's video. This might look awfully small, but this compact device is compatible with over 70 brands and Bluetooth connects to an app on your phone. Check out its extensive repair data library. There's so much knowledge here just for your car's maintenance. Through the app, I can perform bidirectional control, diagnostic reports, and auto VIN and auto scan, FCA gateway, access performance testing, and it has 8 reset functions. This is a must-have for anyone that cares about their car and wants to be proactive if there is an issue that needs to go to the mechanic. Even for the gearheads out there, this little device is worth its weight in gold just for the ability it has to easily reset your oil timer after an oil change. There is so much more this can do. You've got to check out everything this can do. Get your top scan today at the link in the description below. Now back to this Jaguar. So the top scan read the codes. We just saw that it's running rich, and when we plugged in those codes, what we just saw on the screen, we were able to pull up on Identifix, which is a service I use that shows common failure points and one of the main failure points is the mass airflow sensor. And using the top scan tool that we just showed you, we were able to show that you can scroll through the data and it shows when it's running the mass airflow sensor is not reading correctly. So let's dive into exactly what is wrong with this vehicle and the list of everything the customer had concerns about. So there's just a few main reasons why it was here, but we found other things while we're working on it. It was a check engine light, which we just tackled with the top scan tool. The cup holder they say is broken. They want that checked out and looked into. Also, the driver's door panel is coming detached from the door itself. That's basically kind of what they wanted checked out, but we're going to show you today we found something else that really adds to the cost here. Let's go ahead and get the bonnet opened. It's an English car, so it's a bonnet. Let's open our bonnet, our backwards opening bonnet. This is the AJV. Aha, see, that's another one of the complaints we have here. The hood struts won't hold up. Let me go grab a tool that you guys should buy if you work on a lot of cars. So one thing I use is some vice grips.
Oh, no, you don't, Wizard.
Hell no, we don't use vice grips. That's very stupid. Let me show you why. Somebody clamps it on here, and then you go to working around here, and you scrape it across the paint, and you just scratch the customer's car. Hell no. This is what you use right here. These are on our Amazon affiliates link. It's very safe, it's plastic, it doesn't scratch anything, and it just goes right here on the shaft of the hood strut, and I usually turn it towards the inside. Clamps down, hold it up nicely. Now, the concern could be, well, you just damaged their hood strut. No, I didn't, because it's already dead. It can't be any worse dead. It needs to be replaced. So that's how we lock those down. But as I was saying, this is the AJV8. Some of the common issues they have on these years and models is the throttle body. It's electronic throttle body. It has issues. As the throttle position sensor goes bad, you have to send them off and get them rebuilt. Another issue is the ABS module will fail. You have to send the module off to be rebuilt as well. Another issue is timing chain issues. There's a main chain that goes between the cams and the main crank, but then there's two smaller chains that go from one cam to the other cam. And those guides and tensioners fail, and it causes a lot of issues. Definitely timing chain issues on these if they haven't been serviced well. Another thing is these years they really love the plastic achy breaky cooling system pipes and things, and this one's no exception. Let me pull these covers off and show you what we found when we were just looking at the airflow sensor. So here's our airflow sensor. It's currently not reading properly. We're going to be getting an estimate for the customer to replace it, and that will solve the check engine light. And here's our little covers. Danielson was checking this out. He thought, I'll go ahead and remove these covers just to take a peek and make sure we don't see any serious issues. Mrs. Wizard, check out that coolant hose. You see it's bulging right here. It's about to burst. And the flange down here on the thermostat is getting crusty, and it's actually some dried coolant on the bottom. It's just starting to leak. All these hoses and pipes are very, very common to fail. So after we checked out the airflow sensor, he decided to inspect the rest of the engine and found that coolant leak over there on the thermostat housing I just showed you. Unfortunately, it's just the thermostat housing leaking, but there's tons of plastic connected to it. And we know from years of experience, anytime you start removing these hoses and pipes, again, this is all plastic. Anytime you start tampering with any of this, it will never seal again. It's guaranteed to snap and break. The coolant pipe, the thermostat housing, a thermostat, and the hoses, because from age, they're all going to fail as soon as we start taking them apart. That wasn't on the list. The customer totally didn't anticipate that. That adds almost $1,000. And over half of that is just the parts. So you just bought this car. You say it runs fine, drives fine. And now we're starting to see things are tallying up. The cost is escalating really quickly. This isn't just a Jaguar problem. I've said that a lot of times with BMWs. They love to have achy breaky plastic all over their engine. Mercedes does as well. Audi does as well. It's just something that they do. They use these plastic pieces. I don't know why. I wish they would use metal or something else, but with age they fail and you have to address them or don't drive the car. Even if you're not mechanically inclined, you need to use your eyes to scan around and watch for things when you're checking your oil, just like this. Obviously a rodent has been in here and chewed that insulation all up, and is also on the passenger side. They've been trying to gather that up to make a nest. Now the question is, where's the nest? And while you're there, look for oil drips, look for crustiness, things that could be possibly leaking out of the engine. You don't have to be a mechanic to spot those things and bring it to a mechanic. The other part of the check engine light is underneath the car. We'll show you that when we get to the back of the car that's causing it to run rich. But let's dive into those other issues that were on the list. Some of these customers that have the Jaguars, the really older vintage European cars, can be very particular. They want every little thing fixed until you tell them the price. That changes the tune really fast. Just because you want all the things fixed doesn't mean you're willing to pay for all the things to get fixed. This customer we don't really have any trouble with, but I want my cup holder working, I want my door panel fixed. Let's go take a look what's going on there.
Okay, ladies and gents, we are going to see those two problems in just 1 second, but you can see in the meantime, this has 58,223 miles. That's right, 58,000 miles. That's really low. I love the wood wrap around those gauges. It looks so nice, so elegant. I do love Jaguar. They're such beautiful cars, especially vintage Jags. Do have a very large wood section, and all the varnish is looking great. You can see we have our analog clock and our oil gauge and our battery light there as well. As we move down, we have a lot of buttons there for our HVAC system and our radio controls. And as we move down, you'll see we have our J-gate gear selector. As we look here, you'll see that we have our ashtray and our cigarette lighter. But as we move back, yeah, this is where the cup holder should come and flop open, and it's not just broken, it's not here. And we've kind of checked around the car and we don't know where it is. So obviously we would push this back and this would, gently, like this, gently opens. This would have gently opened as well to put your cups, but it's not here. We do have a very filled up center console area, and all of this is nicely leather wrapped in ivory. As we look at our seats, again, more ivory, and they're quite comfortable with some nice fluting going down the back of the seat and on the seat itself. As we look at the door card, it's in very nice condition. We have that taupe with ivory down below with a little bit of a fabric section on the very, very bottom front section. But this door card is looking good. Let's check out the driver's side. So everything is looking really good. I mean, there's no marks, everything's looking good. I'm not exactly sure what, they have a nice little cleaning brush in here. That's an interesting spot to put it, but watch here. And I'm not pulling on that door, the door pull very hard, but yeah, it has disconnected. Just needs some new pulls, I would imagine. They're just kind of keep it held in place. But the leather's looking good. It's not cracked. Nothing's crazy is going on. It's just come detached. The back seat, well, he does have a few cleaning supplies and some tissues back there, but if you could call this a back seat, wow, it's mega tiny. I couldn't imagine trying to sit someone back there, but technically it is a 4-seater convertible. The headliner, which is our convertible top, is also in great shape as well. I don't see very many marks because they have a tendency to leak and do lovely water stains. Look at our steering wheel, leather wrapped again, have our growler face in the center, and it's just embossed in. Don't have anything metal there like we do in so many of today's modern cars, but we do have lovely wood on the top and on the bottom. So enough of this interior talk. Let's get underneath this thing and see what's going on underneath.
So I mentioned the antifreeze leak from that thermostat housing, and it's already dripping on the floor. You can see the green antifreeze there. So if you see something dripping underneath your car, it's definitely not okay, unless it's air conditioning condensate water during a hot, steamy summer day. Your air conditioner should be dropping clean, clear water out. But if it's green or red or brown, something else is wrong. Another thing the customer wants quoted is that this underbelly that goes right here, it's kind of a chin shield, I guess you'd call it, is missing. They want quoted to get that replaced. So now we're continuing on our inspection. We already know about the coolant leak going on. Let's check our wheels out. Brakes are about 70%. Struts are good. Nothing loose there. Brakes are good there. Nothing's leaking out of the strut. Nothing's loose. Sway bar is good. Our engine oil pan is dry. Nothing's leaking there. Our transmission appears to be Leak-free as well, nothing going on there. Look at these strange cats, guys. It's like a 90-degree straight up canister on both sides, in fact. Those are the cats. Those would be hard to steal for a tweaker. They're not easy to get to. We have dual exhaust. It comes into a single resonator. We have our drive shaft right here, and it has a flex disc up front. It looks to be in good condition. Transmission mount is still good. It splits back out to 2 exhaust again. We do not have a flex disc back here. We have a U-joint, which is in good shape. Brakes are about 50%, still good. These have CV shafts in the back, but they're actual shafts with U-joints, like a normal drive shaft. They're kind of different. But they appear to be in good shape. Nothing's loose. Sway bar link's good. Shaft is good. Sway bar link is good. Brakes are good. Neither of the shocks are blown. Another thing that's causing the rich running condition is the evap purge valve has gone bad, which is kind of hard to show you. We're going to show it to you, but it's kind of difficult. But another thing we notice while we're under here is the tires are getting really worn. Everything looks good on this side, but look on the inner tread here, guys. It's down to the little belts. And there's nothing loose here that would cause it to be that way. Just that tire is worn really, really bad. Let's get this thing on the ground. You'd be surprised, there's a lot of XK8s and XJ8s out there that have been abandoned because the cost of repairs is very easy to get more than the whole car is worth. You can have a car that's worth $4 or $5 grand and the repairs be $8. And the constant answer is no, I didn't even pay that much for the car, I'm not spending that on the car. And then it just gets dumped. We had one not too long ago, an XK8, where the timing chain broke and we were just going to do the whole timing chain job because luckily the engine didn't get damaged, but it was still going to be $3 or $4 grand to do the timing chain job. It's a big job. And the customer said, I didn't pay that for the car. He says, I can't stomach that price. And he just donated it to someone and said, here bro, it's yours, your problem, I don't want to talk about it anymore. This customer is wanting some small things fixed. The cup holder you saw is missing. We need to find out where the leather piece is, but you can buy just the cartridge. It's just the cup holder part of it. That alone is $150 to $200. That don't include us taking it apart and replacing it. Just the part is $150 to $200. The door fasteners, where Mrs. Wizard showed you guys, the door panel is pulling away from the door itself. We need to pull the whole panel off and just go through and replace all the clips. And that'll take about an hour. The clips are probably only 20 cents a piece or 50 cents, or not much. But there's probably 20 of them, and there's the labor to pull the panel off. That's a frequent thing that gets forgotten in any estimate I've ever done, is that I get the quote together and they say, why is it so much? And then I say, well, there's the labor. It's a 4-hour job. Oh, that's right. I actually have to pay to do the work. I was just looking at the parts prices. Or we were going to put it on for free. You can put it on for free. There are people out there that do their own work. If you can, I applaud that. You can just look at the parts prices only and forget about the labor. But for most people, you can't forget about the labor because a mechanic doesn't work for free. You guys don't work for free. I don't work for free. So that's how it is. So how much is all this going to cost? A good used shield, a belly shield on eBay, is $300 shipped. Again, that doesn't include the labor. Just the part. This is Jaguars. So we got the under shield, the cup holder, the door panel, airflow sensor, a purge valve, that coolant neck, all the coolant pipes, all the hoses, a coolant flush, $2 or $3 grand. Just that easy, just that fast. It adds up really, really quickly. So when you're looking on Facebook and you see these really nice XK8s for $3, $4, $5 grand, you think, man, I could be rolling and look like I'm balling. As soon as the parts and the repair starts to add up, you will find out very quickly you're not balling like you thought you were. So I definitely wanted to do a video for you guys to show how the older JAGs, or really any other older European vehicle, can really rack up a bill really fast in a shop. If you're curious what kind of tools we're going to use to work on this car, a lot of them are listed for sale on our Amazon affiliates link in the description below. Click on that. If you purchase anything there, we get a small cut and really appreciate it. And make sure to hit the subscribe button because we have tons of cars in the shop, which means more videos for you guys. Thanks for watching.